We're going to be going over 3 properties of multiplication this week, and those 3 properties are commutative, associative, and distributive. I thought it would be helpful if we went over the equations and I gave you guys actual examples of how to do each problem. We're going to start off by going over the commutative property, which you guys have already seen the equation. It is A times B equals B times A. This pretty much just states that you can multiply any 2 numbers and you'll get the same answer as if you reverse the numbers. So for example, if you took 2 times 3, 2 being A, 3 being B, and you reverse them, 3 times 2, you should, based on what the equation says, get the same answer. So if you guys take out a piece of paper and do these examples with me, you'll see that. So 2 times 3 is 6, which is the same as 3 times 2. And you can see where that equals each other. Let's do a bit of a harder example to see if it works. Oh, I should leave this up here. So if we did 6 times 7, where 6 is A, we would want to put that same 6 where the A goes here, and 7, because it's B, we'll put it here. See if we get the same answer. 6 times 7 is 42. And 7 times 6 is 42 as well. So if you stick to this equation right here, the commutative property says that you can reverse any 2 numbers, multiply them, and you would get the same answer, which is what we just proved. The second property we will be discussing is the associative property, which again, you guys have already seen this equation before. I just want to explain it a little bit more in depth. It's A times B times C equals A times B times C. And here you can see that there are 2 numbers grouped together, and then you multiply, there's an outside number. And as you can see too, like before we had A times B equals B times C, we switched them. Here, nothing is switched, it's in the same order, ABC, ABC. The only thing that's different is they group them differently. So this property says that you can group them however you want and you should still be able to get the same answer in multiplication. So for example, if we did simple numbers such as 2 times 3 times 4, we would keep the order of the numbers. 2 times 3 times 4, we would just group them differently. We should get the same answer. So following our order of operations, we should do the ones in the parentheses first. So 3 times 4 is 12. Then you would drop your 2 and do 2 times 12, which equals what? You should be doing this on your paper at home. It should be 24. And if you go over here, 2 times 3 is 6. You do the one in the parentheses first, times 4. And we also get 24. Now it takes a little bit of different route to get to the same answer, because as you can see here, we did 12 times 2 to get 24, and we did 6 times 4, but ultimately we still got the same answer either way we grouped them. The last property we're going to be talking about is the distributive property, which states that A in parentheses B plus C, you need to pay close attention to this addition symbol, equals A, B plus A, C. So first we're going to talk about how they even got from this to this, because that's a big difference, okay? So, and we already know that when these 2 are together and there's no symbol, there's no minus, divide, addition symbol there, that it means multiply, okay, when it's next to each other. So this is how they got it. They distributed it, okay? That's why it's called the distributive property. They took A and put it to B. So they multiplied A and B together. Then they went and took A, they distributed it. They want to not only give it to this part, but they want to give it to this part too. So they distributed it over here to C, and we keep this symbol here. It's important, it's there for a reason. So they added A and C. That is how they got that, okay? So we'll remember that when we go into our problems, which we'll do right now. Let's just use, for example, 2 parentheses 3 plus 4. Let's see what we would get, okay? This tells us how to get it this way, so where we can solve it. So let's try that. Let's say this is A, this is B and this is C, okay? So 2, we want to distribute that to 3. So that would be 2 times 3, okay? Or 2, we can put in parentheses 3 to kind of make it look this way. And we want to keep our addition symbol. We put the A and B together, now we have the addition symbol. Now 2, we're going to distribute that to the 4. So we can do either plus 2 times 4, or this way makes it a lot simpler and this is confusing because we're not grouping it like we talked about in the commutative property, okay? So this, or I'm sorry, of the associative property. So then we would go 2 parentheses 4. And then from here we'll solve it. So 2 times 3 is 6. We're going to drop this symbol here. And 2 times 4 is 8. That would lead us with the answer of 14. Okay? So pretty much the distributive, it has to have parentheses. That parentheses tells you what you're distributing. Okay? And then we'll have a couple more practices with this later on in the lesson.